My name is Andrew Hunt and I'm co-founder and managing director of Aduna. Aduna is an Africa-inspired health and beauty brand and social business. Our mission is to actually create demand for underutilised natural products from small producers in Africa, starting with the extraordinary baobab fruit. Baobab has 6 times the vitamin C of an orange, twice the calcium of milk, 6 times the potassium of bananas, and it has the highest antioxidant capacity of any whole fruit. Today is a day of possibilities, and I'd like to share with you a possibility so powerful it could transform the lives of 10 million women in rural Africa. I like to call it the inspiring possibility of baobab. 10 years ago, I was working in advertising, investing all my energy promoting products I didn't believe in. My lack of purpose led me to clinical depression. Until one day, I got a random invitation to volunteer in the Gambia. The amazing thing is that after just 3 weeks, I came back to life. I ended up staying 4 years and won a UN award for my work with small-scale producers. I had become completely inspired by Africa and completely focused on how we could take this impact and make it both global and sustainable. And this brand is the answer. More than 25% of the world's botanical species originates from Africa, but less than 1% of what we see in the shops. Of all these extraordinary opportunities, the most extraordinary of all is the humble baobab fruit. 10 million households can supply this fruit from a crop that already exists, but currently goes majority to waste. The only problem here is that 95% of people have never heard of it. Aduna's mission is to create demand for small producers in Africa, starting with baobab producers. Since launching in 2012, we've taken baobab from complete obscurity to London's best-selling superfood, expanding into 1,000 stores in 15 countries. We've worked in partnership to create sustainable income for 2,000 women in rural Ghana, and we've been shortlisted for 3 Guardian Sustainable Business Awards. All of this has been achieved from my kitchen and living room. If we win, we will make baobab famous, enabling us to scale from the 2,000 women we currently source from to a potential 1 million in northern Ghana alone. It will also enable us to replicate our model with multiple ingredients, multiple formats, and multiple geographies. It will transform our business, and at the same time, potentially millions of lives. Aduna means life in Wolof, and the brand is my way of sharing what Africa gave me, which is nothing short of life itself. Right here in this room today, we can create the inspiring possibility of baobab, not just as a possibility, but as a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Who'd like to ask the first question?
Thank you. It's an amazing pitch. Can you tell me how you consume baobab?
Sure. Baobab is the only fruit in the world that dries naturally on the branch. That also has a benefit. It doesn't need to be refrigerated. So our first product was baobab powder, which is superfood powder. Superfood is the #1 fastest growing category in the $1 trillion global health food market. Our partners at Holland & Barrett have got 38% year-on-year growth. So the superfood powder is #1. You put it in smoothies and shakes. We've also released a bar, and we've got other formats coming out later in the summer, like teas and chocolates and all sorts of things.
If you were to win the first prize, where would you think you should spend the money to raise the awareness?
I mean, I have been an amazing team that we've got, including the global creative director of Hugo Boss and Estee Lauder, who volunteers for us, by the way, have been working on the Make Baobab Famous campaign for the last 18 months, and we're ready to launch it in February. to create a World Baobab Day in partnership with all stakeholders in the industry. Our plan would be to put the money behind a Make Baobab Famous campaign, a creative campaign that will create a transformation in awareness of baobab.
Are there enough baobab trees? They take a long time to grow, don't they?
Yes, they can take anywhere between 18 and 200 years to flower. Yeah.
But they sell. I don't. When I go to Africa, I just don't see a lot. There are a lot of them. Are there?
There is a huge amount of trees. So just to give you an example, this is a fact from our partners, Fighter Trade Africa, who represent small producers in southern Africa. In Zimbabwe, they consume locally 60 tons of baobab. They export 60 tons of baobab, and 20,000 tons of baobab goes to waste. That is one of 32 different countries in rural Africa that baobab is abundant.
And so the ingredient that you're bringing in, you're taking into food, teas, chocolates, skincare, because of its benefits?
Yeah. Thank you for asking. Because both baobab, and by the way, we don't just do baobab, we've also introduced moringa, which, Joe, you'll be familiar with. We may be familiar with. Both baobab and moringa have also got seeds that are rich in oils. At the moment, those seeds are a waste product of our production in northern Ghana. Yes, we've been asked by both Space NK, Liberty and Selfridges when we're going to have baobab beauty. We'd love to have your help with that.
What sort of turnover have you got so far?
We're a small business, and our turnover has been doubling each year. So we had about 75,000 in 2013, and it's doubled doubled the next year. This year we're on to probably do about 500,000, and we're currently scaling massively. So we're going from an initial 175 stores of Holland & Barrett to all 700 by the end of the year. As I said, we're in 15 different countries, and we're in some of the best retailers in those countries in the world.
Are you still based in your sitting room and your kitchen?
We actually moved out on the Monday before the semi-final began. So we moved out 2 weeks ago, and thank God.
Before the divorce, or?
I think we're going to wrap it up there. But a big round of applause for all of the people you've seen pitch. Thank you, Andrew.